My simple approach to nutrition. This is one of the most commonly asked questions in the streams and the workout videos over on Instagram. Hey dude, what are your macros? Hey dude, what's your approach on nutrition? What do you eat? All those types of things. In this video, we're gonna break down the simple approach that I take to stay strong, lean, healthy year round. Just what has been working for me over the past 5 or 10 years, and I wanna share that with you guys, all right? So with nutrition, just really blanket. We have macronutrients and we have micronutrients. Those macronutrients are proteins, carbs, and fats. And there's a lot of micronutrients, but we'll just break it down into vitamins and minerals, right? The stuff that makes us feel good and operate well as humans. Keeps our hormones in check, and we're just can sleep well, hit our workouts, done what we need to get done, okay? And then there's a lot of crap that we don't want to be eating. But what happens is a lot of the times we see in the news, we see on social media, foods that are like buzzwords of like, oh, absolute superfood. You have to eat this. This one food is going to get you ripped quick. And then there's the other side of things. It's like, don't eat this. This food is going to kill you, right? And we see that back and forth of these two polar sides of the food that's going to get you ripped quick and the food that's going to just absolutely kill you. And a lot of the times, both of these extremes don't really exist. And that's a lot of what I want to talk about in this video. There's no one food that you're going to eat that's going to get you ripped quick. And there's no one food you're going to eat, by and large, that's going to just completely destroy your progress and kill you. It's total picture nutrition, and that is very important, and that's going to be the theme of this video. So when we're looking at things broadly, when we're looking at the big picture, what actually matters, right? One, caloric intake matters, right? If you're eating in a caloric surplus, you're going to have energy. If you're in a caloric surplus, you can actually increase strength, increase size of the muscle, have better workouts, and just generally be feeling really good. At the same time, you're going to be storing fat, right? And we talked about that in the fat loss video. If we're in a caloric deficit, we're going to be losing fat at the same time, losing a bit of muscle, and maybe we're going to be feeling a bit more lethargic and not going to have as much energy throughout the day. So if you want to be gaining weight and having great workouts, eat a caloric surplus, right? If you want to be losing fat and, maybe be a bit lethargic, but you're going to be leaning down and maybe your workouts aren't going to be crazy, but you can maintain, then eat in a caloric deficit. Boom. Now we have macronutrients, right? Proteins, fats, carbs. How much of each should I be eating? I see things that are vegan or keto or carnivore or intermittent fasting, all these things. Like how much carbs, how much protein, how much fat? What's the breakdown that's going to optimize me and my workouts? Now, I can't tell you what's going to work for absolutely everyone, but I can tell you what I'm going to do or what I've been doing over the past 5 or 10 years and what will probably work out pretty darn well for you guys. And that's nothing crazy, all right? That is getting enough fat for your hormones to be operating efficiently. For me, that's about 60 to 80 grams of fat. For most people, it's about 30% of their calories derived from fat, all right? You can do an online calculator for this. Fat has 9 grams per calorie if you want to do the math yourself, but about 30% of calories derived from fat, give or take, nothing crazy. Some days it might be 35, some days it might be 25. I'm not the point of this video is total picture nutrition, right? Around 60 to 80 grams of fat is generally what I aim for on a day-to-day basis. Why? Why am I going for fat, right? Fat is important for regulating hormones, regulating how I'm feeling. If I go too low on fat, my testosterone levels plummet. I don't feel good. I don't want to wake up out of bed. I have no drive. I have no sex drive. I have no energy. I have none of that, right? Fat's important for these reasons, so we're going to be intaking fat. What types of fats do I eat? Try to do coconut oil, avocado oil, avocados, egg yolks, meat, animal fat. So from a steak or a chicken thigh or some type of grass-fed beef, hopefully, right? Just generally just things off the top of my head, boom. Maybe some cheeses, like a goat cheese, I do Parmesan. A lot of my fats are derived from those sources, right? Nothing crazy, but those are the fats that I eat a lot of the time, right? So getting enough fat so my hormones can actually operate, right? Why don't I go crazy high in the fat? Well, because there's other macronutrients that are important, and we'll get into that. Also, personally, if I go too high in my fat, my skin starts to break out. Like I start breaking out all over my forehead and my chin and stuff like that. So I usually just stick at that lowest effective dose, minimum effective dose of how much do I actually need? Okay, let's go around there. So next, protein, right? Why are we eating protein? Well, we want to sustain lean muscle mass, right? We want to build lean muscle mass or just keep what we have at the very minimum. And current literature suggests we should be getting about 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And there's a range. If you go a little over, a little under, it's not the end of the world. I weigh about 150 pounds. So for me, I'm eating, what is that, like 120, 130 grams of protein every day, right? And once again, this happens to be about 30% of my calories derived from proteins. And that's protein has 4 calories per gram. So if you want to math that out for yourself, you can. So 30% from fats, about 30% from protein. And you guessed it, the rest is carbs, and that's usually about 40%. And once again, these numbers ebb and flow. But protein, muscle mass, fats, hormones, carbs, the final macronutrient here is going to give us energy, glycogen stores. We're going to be able to feel really nice. We're going to be able to sustain long workouts. If you're a cyclist, if you're a runner, if you just want a lot of glycogen, if you're weight training, whatever it is, really, really good for fueling our training. Also good for your hormones as well. If you're an athlete of any type, carbs are a thumbs up. So no point to really completely diminish carbs. If you're in that caloric surplus, once again, you're going to gain fat and you're going to have great workouts and you're going to have more energy. If you're in a caloric deficit, even with carbs, you're going to lose fat, okay? You're going to lose fat. Now, this isn't the full picture, right? That's basically just if it fits your macros, but that's not the full picture yet. It's almost there. I mean, that's by and large, that's very important information, but it continues. What else is important? Micronutrients, right? And ingredients we're going to get into as well. So micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. So, I'm not a PhD expert on this. This is just what I've been doing and eating a solid amount of fruits and vegetables on a day-to-day basis. What does that mean? For lunch, I might cut up a kiwi, maybe have like a banana with peanut butter on a stream break. And for dinner, I might have, and maybe we'll have a kale salad for lunch as well. And for dinner, we might do some zucchini or some broccoli or some cabbage or something as a side with dinner, right? We're doing fruits and veggies with every meal and throughout the day. That's what that means. That doesn't mean just eating proteins, fats, and carbs. That means, okay, let's actually get a couple helpings of fruits and vegetables throughout the day so that we're feeling good besides just the macronutrients. So the micronutrients matter here as well so that we can operate well as human beings, so we can sleep well, so we can wake up well, so we can hit our workouts efficiently, all of these types of things. So hitting those macros about, where we talked about 30, 30, 40, getting enough proteins, getting enough carbs, giving enough fats, and also not being just so deliberate with that where we're forgetting, okay, let's eat some fruits and vegetables as well. And let's not forget that meat has a lot of vitamins and minerals as well, right? We've been doing beef liver, just grass-fed beef in general, so packed with nutrients, bone broth, all that kind of stuff, packed with vitamins and minerals. So we're getting in, a lot of foods like that. So that kind of covers that portion of the conversation. And then finally, ingredients. When I buy something that, is from the store, I turn it around and look at the ingredient labels. The ingredient label is very important. There's a lot of fillers that I try to avoid, right? In a very simplistic way, the essence is I'm not going for the labels that look like this, that are this long of ingredients. If there's a label of this long of ingredients, I generally don't put it in my body, right? I'm trying to get whole foods as much as possible. That means rice, chicken, beef, apples, bananas, fruits, potatoes, all of these types of things, just whole foods, right? And the way I like to think about it is if I turn around and look at the ingredient list, I should be able to pronounce everything, right? And I should pretty much know everything in the ingredient list. And if I can't pronounce it, or I don't know what it is, or the ingredient list is this long, I usually just don't eat it. I usually just stay away from it, right? And that's because it makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel really, really nice when I'm just eating whole foods. So I'm hitting the proteins, fats, and carbs, right? We're getting the micronutrients through, our meats, our fruits and vegetables, and, stuff like that. And if I, do go to the store or go out to eat, I'm trying to get ingredients that are close to just the base ingredients as possible. Now, the final part of this video is that these things aren't perfect, right? It's not 100% of the time where I'm hitting exactly 30% of my fats and exactly 30% proteins and exactly 40% carb. And it's not like I'm never eating anything that's artificial, and it's not like I'm never doing this, guys. 80-20 rule, okay? And for me, it's probably more like 95-5 rule, right? Like 95% of the time, this is how I eat. This is how it works really well. I'm feeling good. I have strong workouts. I'm sleeping well. I'm recovering well. I'm progressing well in the gym and my lifts and my movements. Great, right? But that other 5% of the time, if I'm going out to a restaurant with some friends or family, and I just, I'm gonna not necessarily gonna go and ask the chef like every single ingredient and be like, well, can you sub this for this? Like, I'm just gonna just order some. If I go to a restaurant, I'll usually get a salad or some like steak tacos, or like, some steak and rice and, or a potato or some type of just veggie, meat and carb, basic, right? Similarly, when we go to the grocery store, sometimes there's something that's just kind of fun that we want to try. Like, oh, let's try some hard shell tacos this week. Let's just have a good time and try it. That's not something we would do every week, right? That's something we would do just for fun sometimes, right? Every now and then, because at the end of the day, you got to live life as well. And that's kind of where I want to cap off the end of this video, is that it's not something that's just so strict. And I've kind of been on both extremes, right? I've been super, super strict, and I've been a little too laissez-faire at some points in my life. And finding this middle ground of, okay, these are the things that matter, caloric intake, those macronutrients, those micronutrients, the ingredient lists, and, also keep in mind that sometimes you just got to live life and do it. But at the end of the day, guys, it's what makes you feel good, makes you sleep well, what makes you perform well in your workouts, what keeps you progressive overloading, and what makes you feel good and look good. So that's what it does for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend that might enjoy this type of content. If you guys didn't like the video, thumbs it down. Throw over a sub if you want to see more videos from the channel. And guys, we have an entire cookbook that goes over every single thing that Shannon and I, my fiance and I, are eating. If you guys want to check out the cookbook, the link is down below in the description. Actually, I think they moved the description over here or something, but the link is there for the cookbook, and that's going over every recipe, ingredient, and it goes over macro and micronutrients as well. So check out the cookbook. Don't forget to sub. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.